Welcome back to America Continues on USA Radio Networks. I'm Jim Sharpe, and it's time to talk a little Bill Clinton. Boy, this guy, he's so smooth. Guy is smooth. Smooth with an F. He is smooth. He's Cynthia McFadden at NBC News is traveling with the president and his daughter, Chelsea Clinton. It is a trip being taken by some of the wealthy contributors to the foundation. And by all accounts, it at least, let's just put it this way. It looks from the outside as though they're just going to see where their money's going. It's going to help people, right? So they're doing, I think it was at 4 countries, I think. And yeah, they're doing 4 countries in Africa. Other people would say it's just a junket. It's a chance for them to go, to go on safari and, check things out. And, it's your thanks for contributing money. But he's defending the Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation's acceptance of foreign money. So I thought it was worth playing a little bit of Cynthia McFadden's report from Africa with Bill Clinton. This was on NBC News.
Former President Bill Clinton says he has no regrets about taking millions from foreign governments for his foundation.
I don't think there's anything sinister in trying to get wealthy people and countries that are seriously involved in development to spend their money wisely in a way that helps poor people and lifts them up. I don't think there's anything bad with that. I think it's good.
All right. So, but what he's talking about here is he's talking about rich people. He's not talking about foreign governments, which would appear then to be, foreign governments. First off, that's bad enough. When your wife is, when your wife and one of the founding members of your organization is the Secretary of State, whose interactions with foreign governments, she's the point person. But he doesn't even talk about that. He goes right to I don't see anything wrong with wealthy individuals helping people, poor people. Nothing wrong with that. And then, of course, Cynthia McFadden falls into the, wow, look at the good stuff they're doing stuff kind of report.
But even while the criticism at home rumbles, the heartwarming stories here in Africa are undeniable. At the Starkey Hearing Foundation program, 150 people will be fitted for hearing aids. Their goal, 1 million people by 2020.
I've done these in Uganda, Zambia.
This boy will hear for the first time.
Good.
The former president chalks up most of the criticism to hard-knuckle politics.
There has been a very deliberate attempt to take the foundation down.
But under pressure, the foundation has recently announced it will only accept contributions from 6 Western governments going forward.
Is that an acknowledgement that it was a mistake
No.
not to stop the other foreign donations before your wife ran for president?
No, absolutely not. It's an acknowledgement that we're going to come as close as we can during her presidential campaign to following the rules we followed when she became Secretary of State.
Wow, wait a second. You didn't follow any rules when she became Secretary of State. You decided to, by the way, I wish you could see this, where I paused this video. Bill just has this look on his face like, busted. It sounds to me more like, it's an acknowledgement that we're going to come as close as we can to not breaking the rules, as opposed to we're going to come as close as we can to following the rules we followed when she became Secretary of State, which is what the president said, the former president said. I think to me, it's an acknowledgement that we're going to come as close as we can to breaking the rules without actually breaking the rules, which I don't think they even followed in the first place. Wow.
He vigorously defended the $10 to $25 million given by Saudi Arabia, noting the Saudis have given to many presidential libraries, including his own. Critics point out that political candidates are not allowed to take any foreign funds to avoid the possibility of influence peddling.
No, but they're allowed to get millions and millions and millions before they actually announce that they're running for president? Please.
It's like
a cover job.
If anybody could show me that anyone had tried to do that, I would stop taking their money.
Mr. President, you know that there's a perception out there that the Clintons play by their own rules. That
Well,
your
I know-
wife's email account, the mistakes on the tax forms for the foundation.
All right, tell your viewers, what were those mistakes?
The 990s?
Tell them what the mistakes were.
On the line where foreign government contributions were supposed to be, there was 0. Those were put in a different location.
So we did disclose all the foreign governments. There was no attempt to hide them. The guy that filled out the forms made an error.
Now, they were overreported in some cases, but they were also underreported. The amounts were underreported as well. This is, by the way, this was Reuters. This was not some super duper conservative watchdog group that went in and said, hey, you screwed up your taxes. It was Reuters.
Not like we didn't tell everybody who gave us the money. The guy put it on the wrong form.
So you're...
Much money is
I miss that guy though. Come on, it's just he'll exist in his own head as he is forever, man.
The guy put it on the wrong form. You've brought in like $2 billion, and you couldn't afford to get a guy to put it on the right line on the right form.
It was an innocent mistake.
Of course it was, because it was all in there.
Well, it had been done right the years before, though.
I know. And I can't explain why they didn't do it, but all I can do is fix it.
It isn't just the foundation's funds that have come under attack. It's his own, for giving 11 speeches for $500,000 or more while his wife was Secretary of State. She's now running for president. Will you continue to give speeches?
Oh, yeah. I got to pay our bills. I also...
Wow. Yeah, you got to give him some credit there.
Yeah, man, he's super honest about everything he needs all the time. Bold, too.
No way I'm going to let Hillary screw that up for me. No way. If that woman wants to run for president, whatever, but I got money I got to make.
So give a lot of it to the foundation every year. We got a lot to do.
Here in Africa, the controversies back at home seem very far away.
Oh, more adoration. Okay. Yeah, he's not going to give up paid speeches. I wonder if that means paid speeches for foreign governments. By the way, he sometimes charges more than $500,000 for a speech. $500,000.
Wow.
Yes. Good work if you can get it, I guess. Yeah. I think he's, honestly, I think he's been kind of backed into a corner, and he's had to speak about this. And because if you want the press to come along on your trip to show and I'm not saying they're not, listen, that is inspiring to see a child in Africa who's maybe never heard before, hear for the first time. Now, the fact that it was Bill's voice that he heard first, I don't know about that, but it's inspiring. It's inspiring. But if you want the press to tell the good parts of your story, like all the good that the Clinton Foundation is doing in Africa, you know what? You kind of been backed into a corner, and you got to answer some other questions because people are asking them.
These are some of the poorest kids in Kenya. A sampling of the 10,000 who are now attending high school, thanks to commitments made through the Clinton Global Initiative.
For my dream is now real.
This program has been a whopping success. 98% graduate, 94% go on to college.
There's never been anything like the Clinton Global Initiative where you've raised over $100 billion worth of stuff that's helped 430 million people in 180 countries.
From working with local farmers in Tanzania to a clinic in Kenya, treating babies with foundation-purchased medicine. Bill Clinton says he's deeply proud of the work and believes the criticism just doesn't add up.
I mean, think about that. There's this big nefarious strategy to exercise terrible influence over the American government by talking wealthy people in countries and to give them money to help the poor people. That's the theory of the case.
Well, somebody get him a glass of water, by the way.
And I just don't believe over the long run the American people won't figure that out.
If your wife is elected president, will you step down from the foundation?
Well, I'll decide it. If it's the right thing to do, I will.
Why?
Depends on what your definition of is.
Might you step down if she were elected president?
Well, I might if I were asked to do something in the public interest that I had an obligation to do.
In other words, if he gets offered a different job, that's when he'll step down.
He is awesome in the way that's not awesome.
Wow. I guess there's a belief that the Clinton Foundation can't go on without him, I guess. I don't know.
You need those numbers, though.
Yeah.
Those numbers that they help.
$500,000 a speech. That's the number I keep focusing on. All right, coming up here in a little bit, having your kids taken away to a foreign country and an American court played a part in it. That's next on America Continues.